Hi, my name is Alejandra León, and I appreciate the invitation to participate in this international conference of dark skies. It is a joy to give a voice from this region of the world. I'm going to share my presentation, and then I'm going to open up for questions and answers. My presentation starts from biodiversity, and it goes from turtles to stars, a new strategy for dark skies and astro-tourism in Costa Rica. I work for an organization, an NGO, non-governmental institution, that works together with universities, the private sector and the public sector, teachers, families, students, and through different means, also working with international networks to promote education in science and to promote non-formal and formal education. We want to get knowledge close to people in their everyday lives, improve education, support science communication, and have people change their practices according to knowledge-based science. We have worked more than 30 years in astronomy as a doorway to lifelong learning, and we have produced hundreds of resources that we've shared online and through different means to get to people with information and to get them to get enthused with astronomy, and also to support education in schools through astronomy. More than 30 years, we have worked on outreach programs, getting closer to people in rural settings, making events in parks, events in the city, and establishing environments that help them appreciate the sky and learn about lighting too. We have also worked with the radio stations, and we produce podcasts on different astronomical events to support the community in their observation of them. We find that there is a great interest in these events, and we can get good information on how to go, what to see, and how to protect yourself, how to be safe in these viewings. We come out of a small country in the middle of the Americas, between North America and South America. It's a narrow strip of land with coasts to the Pacific and to the Caribbean. In our history is that we find that we were one of the first cities to have electric lighting. And that has been very beneficial, but it also has had its downfall. There's a lot of sky pollution through bad lighting, and also through the bad connection that there is between safety and lighting. And even though our country has invested through more than five decades in preserving forests and biodiversity, some of this environmental movement has stayed in the forest and has not gone beyond, has not included the dark skies. And this is very interesting because there are many groups nowadays doing astronomy and observing the sky and communicating about these phenomena through different means in our country. But it took the turtle nesting to make the connection between keeping the forests and preserving the skies. And it was the case of the turtles nesting and the decrease in their coming to nest that was evident through studies in the coasts And so the community started saying, we need to change the lighting. And in 2006, some of the lighting in these areas was changed to lighting that would not disperse and would not confuse the turtles. And of course, it was lighting that would benefit everybody looking at the dark sky. So some of the turtles have come back after these changes. And there are other changes that people are looking into, and other animals also, not only the turtles. Our country is famous for its reserved areas. We have about a fourth of the country is in national parks and private reserves. So we have a big biodiversity during the day, and during the night we have a richness, not only within these areas but also in its surroundings, a richness of dark skies that has not been as valued. Of course, in the night we also have biodiversity. So we have joined, CIENTEC has joined this year with the Starlight Foundation to support the protection of the night skies and to foster astro-tourism that will benefit the country in a different way. We know that also through this pandemic, tourism has changed. There has been a great decrease of tourism. And so we need to change the way people make tourism. We need to give tools to areas that take tourists so that they can survive through all this and also improve their environment. So we're happy to look forward to working with regions, with little towns, with rural settings, with parks and reserves and more to get the sky back, to revise lighting, and to foster communities that really value the sky and know about it. We want the people to make a connection to the stars and to build a passion. And we have done this through different means in the past, and now we're going to go into astro-tourism in a broader way, in a stronger way. This year we haven't been able to go into the regions, but we have been doing programs virtually. We're working with 2 communities, one community in the South Pacific on astro-tourism, and there's more interest also in the central part, north central part of the country. So we are setting up little seeds that we hope will grow into big trees of communities working for astro-tourism. We continue also through CIENTEC to do all our work in promoting events and the observation of events and the learning about astronomy and the movement of the Earth and the other objects in the sky. So we are looking forward to the Geminis this year, which will be one of the best meteor showers in the region. And we know how important that will be for the whole country because it is a dry season that starts again. And so our skies are clear. And then we take the advantage of talking about the dark skies and the importance of keeping the dark skies, looking at your lights and trying to redirect your lights in a proper way so that we can preserve the darkness and be able to view these phenomena. We also produce a lunar calendar that we have been producing for the last 28 years for the region. And we include not only lunisolar dates, but we also include cultural dates that are important connected to the stars. And one of them I'm going to be talking about that is linked to archaeological sites and the finding of these stone spheres in the country. These stone spheres were buried in a specific direction. And some of the archaeologists believe that they are either astronomical calendars or they are pointers, and pointers to identify specific dates. One of those dates that they're looking into is the zenithal sun, which only happens in the tropics. So the perpendicular sun that passes in August and in April through our country. We are 10 degrees north. And so some of the archaeologists are believing that all these stones have to do with the observation of our ancestry of the sky and the way they used it as a calendar to mark those specific dates that were so important. Looking back into our next year, we're also advancing with our programs for the best nights in the dry season. And we're looking forward to Messier Marathons and other events of observation, supporting the communities and their observations locally too. And with this, I want to end. Our aim, of course, is to preserve, withhold, and cultivate this passion that will allow people to, not only today, but in the future, to experience the wonders of the deep sky and think about their position in the world. Thank you very much.